Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. I'm really out in the open today because the sunset has really crept up on me. I think it is happening basically now. I only just arrived in the vicinity and I don't really have time to get to a more discreet spot, so I'm just going to have to sit here and people will probably walk right past. The compensation for the uncomfortably out in the open spot is that I do have a nice view of the London skyline down there, so perhaps while I'm babbling over this bit I can show you a couple of shots of that. More Gavignet Nuits today. This is the 2016 vintage of that Vielles, the basically village level series, which is an absolute stalwart, as I probably say every time. I think I've probably covered this before, haven't I, at some point, but it's been a while, I think. Colour somewhere in the middle. I should just give up on doing commentary on colour, shouldn't I? Before giving that a swirl, I think I'm getting a bit of cherry, bit of red berry maybe. I think I'm more on the red side. Sometimes I come to that conclusion and then later on I go and read the official tasting notes and they say, yeah, it's all black fruits. I think, ooh, does my nose work properly? But so far at least, it's suggesting red fruit, including cherry. Lovely little waft of something there that was really sort of pure and fruity, but also I got a bit of a sense of something nice and floral there as well. I'm not exactly sure whether it's the usual rose or violet, possibly something in that kind of ballpark, but yes, there again, lovely little floral hints. Something slightly woody as well. On the palate, I would say I think that's starting to go a little bit savoury, part of that journey of wines aging, and it doesn't immediately hit me with that sort of familiar luscious juicy fruit. Not talking about the chewing gum of the 1980s, does that still exist? Juicy fruit. It's a little bit drier, a little bit more savoury to begin with at least than some of the other recent, for example the 2019 vintage of this series was, or the 2022, both immediately very sort of juicy, very ripe, very fruity. This is a little bit more now, a little bit more kind of dry, savoury, a bit more considered on the palate. I do still quite like the mouthfeel of that though, apart from that slight dryness and the weight of it. Again on the nose, nice floral notes. I don't recall that from, when was the last time I had this vintage? That might be something that is beginning to show from age. So we've done a little bit of a trade-off there. I think we have possibly lost a little bit of the fruit, at least at this current stage with not really much airing. The fruit has possibly started to go into hiding a bit. It's gone a little bit dry and savoury, but as the payoff for that sacrifice, getting a bit more floral hints that perhaps weren't there before. Maybe this does need a lot more time to air, perhaps to wake up a bit. It has an almost pebbly sort of smoothness to it, which I do find quite appealing. I just want a little bit more fruit presence on the palate. And like I say, I think that's something that's happening as a result of this just getting on a bit. Some people sometimes say wines go to sleep for a bit, don't they? They can start off really kind of full of fruit and vibrant and exciting, and at the far end of that process they might be wonderful, perfumed, ethereal, elegant, and then somewhere in the middle it just sort of goes a bit flat and boring. That might be the stage that this is at now, but you know, equally I could open another bottle of this another day and it might be wonderful. So I think I'm rambling now, aren't I? So, you know, quick summary, I would say I do like those floral hints on the nose. I like the sort of mouth feel of it, that really pleasant kind of smoothness, pebbly sort of smoothness to it. It's quite cool as well. I don't know if that's perhaps just the weather, and a sort of cool pebble smoothness to it. But it is a little bit dry and savoury and not what I'm used to from Gavignet Nuits, which tend to be a bit more sort of big and fruity and rich and ripe. And this isn't exactly doing that today. Don't know how visible I'm going to be now, so I pointed the camera this way instead, but I wanted to add an addendum to this because I think I was perhaps being unfair, or just I was being ignorant earlier and not noticing the appealing nuances of this. There is still that nice floral waft and a very now really, really pretty expression of cherry on the nose. And with a little bit of either airing or me just getting used to it, I think I'm noticing now it does actually have a really dainty, pretty, I think again, cherry-like fruit character on the palate. So previous talk of it lacking fruit, it's just not big and bold and bolshy as the youthful versions of this wine are, and obviously that's to be expected. That's the way aging of wine works. The fruit does gradually get a bit more nuanced and subtle and delicate and all those other synonyms. But this is actually really nice now. Now I've got used to it and got over the initial adjusted my expectations. It's got this lovely, delicate, pretty, gentle expression of cherry and a little bit of a mineral note that I don't think I was noticing before. That's really nice as well. I think perhaps I was noticing that in somewhere, that babble about sort of pebbly like smoothness. I think that was a sort of misinterpretation of what is really a kind of mineral note, a stony like sensation. But that is nice now. Just needed a little while for me to get used to it, or for it to air a bit or something. Definitely different from how the younger wines would be from Gavignet in this series, and of course that's to be expected. Perhaps it helps that it gets dark. I don't know, some sort of sensory deprivation tank effect. I'm less paying attention to my surroundings visually and start to nose the wine a bit better and taste the wine a bit better from the fact that I'm not distracted by the view and all of that. Okay, well, awful, rambling, inaccurate, mind-changing sort of set of tasting notes, but I do think that is nice in the end. It's just different from what I expected, the usual trap. I will shut up now. Cheers.